Hi, my name's Miles Knoll. I'm a professional photographer and artist. I would like to share some tips and tricks with you on how to photograph your artwork for the City of Rockingham Art Prize. A quality image that shows the detail in your artwork will improve your chances of being selected for the exhibition. It will also give you a higher chance of your artwork being included in the promotional material and inclusion in the exhibition catalogue. It's also handy to have quality photos of your work for social media purposes and general documentation. The artworks I'm demonstrating with today fit within the size limits specified in the competition rules. Make sure you check these before choosing your piece, and remember, the max size for 2D works includes the frame. If you're watching this, it's highly likely you're an artist, so you already have an eye for detail and know how to experiment. The same applies with photographing your work. Keep adjusting the setup until you land upon a combination that works for your work, and then repeat it for consistency. But bear in mind, there are limitations with what can be achieved using a camera phone, especially when shooting very small works like jewellery. If you're wanting to prove your photos, you may need to invest in some basic equipment. The setup I'm using today uses natural light, so no LED panels or flash. So it's good to have a basic understanding of how natural light works and choose a well-lit space to shoot in. The best light is bright and indirect, fairly close to a large window. Choose a time of day when direct light isn't coming through and reflecting off surfaces, so not too early or late in the day. And a south-facing window is great, as you don't have to worry about this. Be mindful of light reflecting off coloured surfaces like a red wall or through the leaves of a tree outside the window, as this may impact the colour of the work, especially if it's white. You can also shoot outside under a filled-in patio or veranda, preferably without skylights. Make sure your phone is set up correctly before shooting. I'm shooting with an iPhone, but look for similar settings on an Android. First of all, make sure your lens is clean by wiping it with a tissue or microfiber cloth. Before you start shooting, make sure the settings on your phone are correct. So go into Settings, scroll down quite far to Camera, Formats at the top, change from High Efficiency to Most Compatible, which will produce a JPEG between 2 and 5 megabytes, which is what the competition guidelines ask for. Turn on your grid to square up the artwork and enable Auto HDR or Smart HDR on newer phones. Now, once you've framed up your picture using the grid lines, get the camera nice and close and don't zoom in too much because it will reduce image quality. Make sure your flash is turned off, live photo mode is off, 3-second timer, image is in focus, go. So to start with, we're shooting a 2D work like a painting. So what you'll need is an easel so you can hold the artwork and adjust the angle so it's in line with the camera. Or you can use a human as well if they're available and you've got bright enough light. And then I have the camera phone attached to a tripod to stabilize it, which is especially important in low light. You can get this little phone holder thing from JB Hi-Fi online for about 20 bucks. Tripod's a bit more, so not too expensive. And so the light is coming from this side, so as it reaches this side of the artwork, it's actually diminished slightly. So I use this reflector to fill in light on that side. This is just a sheet of foam core covered in alfoil. And then frame it up so it's nice and square. Go into timer. Hit the focus button and go. A common problem when photographing artworks behind glass is how to get rid of the reflections. So a really simple trick is to set up the camera as you want it, put on the timer, and then hold up a sheet of black card or foam core behind the camera, and all the reflections will have gone. When shooting 3D sculptural works, the judges are looking for photos of the work against a clean, light or dark background. I recommend for smaller works setting up a sheet of white card attached at the top to create an infinity backdrop. You can also use fabric as well if you want that softer look. Consider the angle, the way the light falls on the object. Position the camera so it's as close as possible without zooming in too much. Make sure that you leave some clear space around the object. Select on the focus point. You can increase the exposure slightly. You've got your timer on 3 seconds. With lighter colour sculptures, consider shooting against a dark background so you've got separation and you can see the detail in the object. I hope you're feeling more confident about photographing your artwork now. Good luck with entering.